Today, as I watch the snow fall, this 70-year-old Ellie feels a peace I never thought I'd earn. But every flake, every blast of cold air takes me back to a very distant place. A place where the cold didn't come from the weather. It came from my father's own hands. I grew up in the bleak outskirts of a small town where hope was always a luxury. I was the only daughter of an alcoholic father and a mother who had pretty much given up on her life long ago. I was 8 years old. 8 years old, and I had already learned a lesson a child should never know. Silence was the only weapon you had for survival. My father was a carpenter, his hands rough and calloused. He could create beautiful things from wood, but he couldn't create any warmth from his heart. My mother, she was a shadow who always hid in the pole kitchen, staring out the window as if waiting for a train that would never come to take her away. I yearned for a fairy tale, but all I got was the sound of breaking, the breaking of liquor bottles, of plates, and most importantly, the breaking of trust in my heart. It happened on a cold Christmas Eve. I tried. I used all my meager savings from collecting discarded bottles to buy a little blue scarf for my father. I thought maybe a small gift, an act of love, could melt the ice in him. I gave him the scarf. He looked at it, then at me. No smile, no anger, just a terrifying emptiness. Then he tossed it straight into the roaring fire in the hearth. The scarf burned quickly. My favorite blue color turned to ash. It wasn't the pain of a blow. That was the pain of complete rejection and abandonment. The most painful thing wasn't that he burned the gift. It was that my mother didn't say a single word. She just turned her back. In that moment, 8-year-old Ellie understood. This house will not protect me, and I am utterly alone in this world. Losing faith in my father was horrific, but losing faith in the unconditional love of my mother, that was what pushed me out the door, looking for warmth in places that could never truly give it to me. And that's when I started walking. Not a stroll, but a walk searching for a replacement for that lost love. I walked out of the cold of my home and straight into the bone-chilling cold of the outside world. That Christmas Eve incident was my first scar, the deepest root of my trauma. It's why I never trusted stability and why I was always ready to run. It was the beginning of every wrong choice I made after that. If you could empathize with that chill, with the loneliness of a forgotten child, please follow my story. Tomorrow, I will tell you about the first stranger, the one who gave me what my parents never could, attention. An attention that came at a much higher price than I ever imagined. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss Episode 2, The First Sweet Promise.